My answer to the question of whether I want children has changed throughout my life. In my young, idealistic years, I wanted to have kids while I had plenty of energy and probably have the last one by the time I turned 30. I got married age 24 to someone who before the wedding said that she wanted 4 or 5 kids and I wanted 2 or 3, so I thought we could just see how we go and maybe meet in the middle. And after we got married, she told me that she didn't know if she actually wanted children. And that wasn't even the biggest problem. But I've spoken about that a lot in another video, which I will link in the description. After my divorce, and for years until recently, I used to be in two minds about whether or not to have kids. And I used to think, well, I'm not with anyone right now, I'm single, so it depends on if I meet someone that I want to be committed to, and then we can make the decision together. But more recently, I've learned that part of being a man is defining your vision yourself and then finding a partner who would be on board with it, who wants the same things in life and who can help you develop it into a reality. And while life usually doesn't happen exactly the way we want to, it's difficult to achieve a goal if you don't even try. Still, now I'm about to turn 40 years old in 2 months and I have no children. And while it's possible to have children late in life for a man, there is a decline in male fertility and an increase in the chance of birth defects which I need to be aware of. So perhaps it won't happen. Perhaps I'll just move from casual dating to casual dating and then eventually just retire and look after dogs. But I feel like that would be a big waste. I honestly believe that my own father was jealous of the freedom and joy I had as a child and seemed to make it his mission to crush it. One of my earliest memories was trying to follow him as we were walking in a park and he was rushing up ahead and shouting at me to hurry up. But I couldn't move fast enough. I was like 3 or 4 or something. And all through my childhood, he just wanted to be left alone. He never had time for me. If I asked if I could talk to him about something, he would snap, "Give me the short version!" And I was punished for even talking at the dinner table. The first thing we do when we're born is speak up for ourselves. And I was told again and again, even before I knew what the word meant, that the sound of my voice made him suicidal. He had just no time for me. There's much more I could say, but I don't want to focus on the negatives of my own story. That's already been covered in other videos. I have overcome so much in the last 8 years of therapy and simply living life with increasing authenticity. The love that I didn't get, the reassurance that I didn't get, the space to express myself that I didn't get, I've learned to give to myself. Recently, in a therapy session, I was thinking out loud, saying something like, I sometimes wonder if it would be a pity if I didn't have kids. I spent so much time just repairing the damage that I went through that I've had to become the father that I didn't have. So I believe I'd be a good father. And my therapist, who is someone who's spent over 100 hours getting to know the most intimate and ugly details of my life, who usually pushes back everything with a question to make me think more deeply and doesn't give answers, just said, yes, you would be. And that really hit me. I came across this meme recently which said, if you didn't come from a healthy family, make sure a healthy family comes from you. I like that this is phrased in a way that's not just anti-negative, as in try not to screw them up as much as you were screwed up, but it's phrased in a positive way, to bring something good into the world through your family. The act of reparenting ourselves is becoming the parent that we needed but didn't have. To sit with us in every emotion, to express our needs and desires, to love us unconditionally and make sure that we know that we have a place in the world as ourselves without trying to be something that we're not. To encourage us to express what we're feeling in actions, not just words. And I don't think many women understand how much things like lifting weights or punching and kicking a bag or pads is a way of expressing healthy masculine emotionality. As a first step, it's not just when stuff builds up too much. And if I have a son, I would be teaching him how to deadlift and squat safely. I would be holding the pads for him to punch and kick. And actually the daughters would get that too, but I think there's going to be part of it, particularly this channeling of baseline aggression, which is specifically healing and important for the development of masculine emotionality. And if I have a daughter, she would see the way I treat her mother with passionate love and being her rock. Being a good example is so much more powerful than being strict could ever be. And they'll have space to screw up while the risks are small so that they can learn from their mistakes. And there are things to be strict about, but it needs to be used sparingly and only for things that really matter. I don't want all this work I've done on myself to just be for myself. I want to share this. That's kind of why I'm making these videos. And I've been using these painful and costly lessons to help others in other ways. I'm seeing some of this redemption arc in the videos and also in the coaching work I do. Whereas before I was punished for talking, now I'm helping people develop social skills. Where I used to feel like I was worth very little to the world, I now treasure myself and help others to do the same for themselves and feel confident in the unique gifts that they can bring to the world. And yes, I would like to have a family, and I don't expect life to feel like a movie. Life will always feel like life. And there's no magical, ideal version of reality. And it would be misplaced confidence on my part to believe that I could do it just because I imagined it in my head. But I've observed how I am in real life. I can keep my cool when others are losing theirs. Not perfectly, of course, but better than most. I can be honest, even with the whole world watching, without fear or hurt. I know myself. I know my darkness, and I've integrated it, and continue to do so. And I continue to work on myself and will do that for the rest of my life. Essentially, I am the man I wish I had as a father. Whether or not we become fathers to our own children, we have to become the fathers that we didn't have to ourselves. Even if your father was a great man, there will be some gaps, because no one is perfect. And if you didn't have a father in your life, or yours abdicated his responsibilities and got caught up with his own issues and traumas, then yes, you need to become the father you didn't have. Not just for your own kids, but because in order to be successful at that with your own children, you need to learn how to be there for yourself first. Thank you for listening. I just want to add, for those sticking around to the end, if there are particular topics you'd like me to cover on this channel, please leave a comment, and if it's something that I feel I can speak on, I will. Let's build this channel together. Thank you, and I wish you all the best. Take care.